Hello, everybody. We are live. And before we introduce our awesome guest tonight, I want to say one thing to the chat. It is Eric's birthday today from
Woo!
Brotherhood
Oh,
Metal
happy
Detecting.
Birthday, buddy.
Happy
It's your
birthday.
birthday.
Happy 25th.
He
wait a
is,
minute.
yeah, he's 22
45th.
years old. So
Nice, man.
But happy birthday, Eric. Everyone, make sure to give him a shout out in the chat. I see some really cool people. Ezra, official Gold Digger Digging for Life. Welcome. Tonight is exciting. We were supposed to have Indiana Tones on, but it was canceled, and we brought in Scott from Detector Network. Welcome.
Good.
I'm very well, thank you. Little bit tired, but other than that, all good.
I feel bad for Scott because he actually was one of the only guests who jumped in the hour early when we opened up the Zoom, and he had to deal with our crap the entire hour before the live stream.
I thought it started at midnight, but no, it's been fun so far. So.
Yeah. So yeah. Speaking of that, it's pretty late where you are right now. Where are you from, Scott?
I'm from Southampton, the south of the UK, so based in Hampshire. So yeah.
I can't remember. I was watching Joel's stream. Are you a football fan or no?
No, not really. No, well, I'm a tech guy. I'm not really in sports. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike and I were watching a little Premier League earlier today.
Oh, that's cool. I know nothing about that. Sorry.
It was a stressful day, but West Ham is officially safe from relegation, just in case anyone else listens.
So, Scott, it's a pleasure having you on. We have something exciting that you've created, and it's called the Detector Network. And it's awesome. And it seems like 2 months ago we weren't even talking about the platform or the social media website. Eric brought it up in passing, and it seems like it's blown up. So congrats. I hope it keeps growing. But
Thank you. Yeah,
so
I hope so too. I'm sure it will.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great platform. But where did you come up with Detector Network? Where did you come up with that?
Well, I've been building websites for quite a long time, over 12, maybe even 15 years. But my brother took up a new hobby, which was metal detecting, and he bought a Knox 800. And he went out, and during the pandemic, he came to me and said, "Oh, all of these websites, the forum websites, are terrible. They're just, they're not very good. They're hard to use. They're not very good on the mobile." And I thought, well, during the pandemic, instead of watching the news 24/7, getting down about everything, I thought, well, why don't we start a project, do a little bit of research, and see, what we can do with something. And in the end, we came up with Detector Network, and we managed to launch it in quite a short amount of time. We soft launched on the 8th of May. We've been live for 75 days now. We hit 1,100 members today, and that's without much paid advertising at all. It's all organic. So yeah, thank you very much to everyone in the chat and you guys as well for signing up so far. But yeah, that's how we came up with the idea anyway.
That's cool, and I found that really interesting from some of the other interviews that I've seen you on. You don't metal detect, or you don't really have like a deep past or history in metal detect.
Yeah, I'm not a detectorist, or not yet anyway.
I was gonna say he will be soon.
I've been into history and interested in all different subjects, and lots of things interest me. And I understand a lot of different things, but no, I've actually never ever been out metal detecting. But I've learned a lot about the hobby, obviously through being on DN every single day, and from you guys as well. So, it's only a matter of time before I get one.
Now, do you see that as kind of one of your struggles? I mean, you don't have I know your brother detects, but you don't detect. Is that hard to kind of relate to what you might want to see from the people that are going to be using the platform?
Not really, no. Because, well, I get the excitement of finding something.
We're having an issue here.
Yeah, I don't know. Andy's saying you can't hear us. Can anybody hear us?
No, we can hear you. There's somebody who has some feedback. Somebody's got something going on, playing some sort of sound that's really throwing the stream off, I think.
Oh, I don't have anything running there. No.
Anybody have
I don't have
anything that has
anything,
any
no.
sound playing?
How about now?
Yeah, he's saying there's an echo too.
No, we
So
can hear you. There's somebody who has some feedback. Somebody's got something going on playing.
We're
some
hearing
sort of
delay. There's a
sound
delay
that's
somewhere.
really throwing the stream off.
I don't have anything playing.
Me either.
No.
There's fine on my end.
Anybody have
I don't have
anything that has
anything.
any sound? I think it's
playing?
fixed.
getting
How about
that.
now?
You
You good?
I think we're good. Okay. Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
anything playing.
Oh.
Hey, you're very
I
quiet
think
for
it's
me
fixed.
now.
Yeah, me too. I can't.
Can you hear me?
There
Yeah,
you go.
now
I
you
hear you
sound.
now.
Yeah, you good?
Okay.
Is it gone? Whatever it was.
Whatever it is, I think it's gone.
I never heard
Hmm.
anything.
Yeah, only us, of course.
Yeah, the exciting part of being live on a stream, but that's okay.
You're very
So
quiet for me now.
I'll go back to the question because we got all distracted. But
Yeah.
how do you see it as far as when you're building the website and connecting and relating to metal detectors? Is there a kind of an issue there, or with your brother helping you as giving you feedback? Has that helped out a lot?
Not really, because it's quite easy for me to understand the excitement of unearthing history. You know, finding things and the excitement of it, and obviously things look really cool, especially if you find gold and things like that. And I've got quite a deep understanding of ancient Rome and that sort of thing as well. So I understand a lot of the excitement around what. So it's not been too difficult, really. And from a technical perspective as well, obviously it's quite a visual thing. So, you know, all the people's finds, it's quite easy for me to go and share all of that. And, you know, it's quite interesting content anyway, even if you don't have a deep understanding or if you're not a detectorist. So, yeah.
Cool. That's really cool. I'm trying to. I still see people are still hearing it. So, I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. So we're gonna keep going and see if we can fix it out. But uh, uh, do you see a difference? How many people are um, from America versus how many people are from the UK or from Europe? Are you seeing a big difference there?
Initially, it was mostly from the UK, probably because that's what we targeted, and I'm from the UK as well. But now I think US is rising quite quickly. So, you know, and I think as well, due to the size of the US, there's potentially quite a bigger amount of detectorists in the US. So I can see that the US might be quite a big market for this.
Really? You
Have,
think so?
have you had any other countries besides UK and US?
Yeah, quite a lot. I can name a few. So it's only English platform for now, but we have plans to translate it into Dutch, French, Spanish to begin with,
Wow.
and to others. But we've got people from Canada, US, UK,
Have you had
Australia,
any other countries besides UK and
Netherlands,
US?
Spain, you name it, Argentina. It's about,
Wow,
I think it's about 14, 15 plus countries so far.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Which
yeah,
is
that's
really
really
cool. So,
Yeah, that's super cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a wide set of representation. You know what I mean? And you're talking about a lot of different pieces of history.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's really cool to see all the finds as well. I didn't really want to make it an add friends system. I wanted it to be a follow system. So it's more of an open platform,
That's awesome.
so that everyone could see people's
Yeah, that's
things and that
super
sort of
cool.
stuff, and live chat. Obviously, the language barrier is something I will need to address, but I'll have an auto translate feature for one of the services for the news feeds, and we'll translate the platform itself as well. But that will enable you to communicate with people that don't necessarily speak your language if you want to.
Yeah.
So,
And
which would be great.
that
So,
will come in super handy because I think there's a large amount of people who are detecting in like Russia, for example.
I
So
was just gonna say
you
that.
know, you
Yeah.
see a lot of Russian detectorists. And there's no way I'm going to be able to translate that. I can tell you that right now.
yeah,
And
we've
then
got a guy called V92 on the platform, and I think he uses Google Translate to talk to me.
well, actually, Mark Thomas in the chat. What's up, Mark?
I was just gonna
He
say
said
that.
Russia V92. Yeah, he just
Oh, okay, yeah,
mentioned that.
he's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's neat, and that's the best part about this Detector Network, or DN is what people are calling it now. Did you develop DN, or did it just organically
Well,
grow that nickname?
we came up with the brand Detector Network. I thought, a lot of my background is in digital marketing. But we thought it was a great brand, secured all the names, and that was fine. But then at the end, just was a natural progression. I never planned that, and so that's fallen into place quite nicely. And we've got some plans for like a new US news thing called DNN, which I think would be quite cool.
Okay,
Kinda
very
cool.
nice.
You know.
That's awesome. And that, but that's what I was saying. I was saying, so this gives us the opportunity, because Facebook does this, right? I mean, you can connect with other people around the world, but it's harder to match with the same people who, passion that. But when you're bringing it all into the exact same place, I mean, you can't ask for any better, in my opinion. So
Sure.
Really cool.
Yeah, and I thought, Facebook does exist, and I thought we're gonna, at the moment there are a lot of Facebook groups and group owners that might think, oh well, we don't need to use DM, we've got Facebook. But we're going to be introducing quite a lot of features specifically for detectorists that Facebook will never implement. And the moment we do that, I'll target the Facebook groups again, and I guarantee you that they'll all come on board. So, and it's stuff that will add value for the detecting hobby. So it's stuff that people will want to use, and Facebook would never have any reason to implement that in their platform, if that makes sense. So that's
Yeah.
what's coming next, basically.
That
But I won't
sounds
release
really
it
cool.
for sales yet.
I
But
mean, I can't speak for everybody else, but I've been waiting for something like this to happen for a long time. This is exciting. Definitely is that what this is going to bring to the hobby.
nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I think ultimately, it lowers the barrier of any kind of social anxiety or anything. Adding someone on Facebook and it's not tied to your YouTube channel per se or anything like that. I'm sure from a social perspective, some people might get a little bit, anxious or, might be more hesitant to reach out to someone. But when, it's okay, I'm reaching out to you from a detector site to another detectorist, like it just makes sense. And it's that much more low pressure to say, hey, you know what, let me follow this person, let me reach out to this person, and it just makes that entry barrier to making networking and community that much easier.
Sure. And we all know what it's like to be a little bit anxious. If you join the platform, you might lurk for a little while, see what the deal is, and then you might ask a few questions. But, it's a gradual thing. And thankfully, all of the community on the DN platform so far have been really friendly, really helpful, more than willing to help beginners as well. So that's been nice to see as well.
Yeah. Now, are you going to? This is coming just from a person. We were talking earlier. I've been detecting years now, and for a short period of time, I was solo. I went by myself. Didn't know where I was going. Are there different um, portions of the website that will help you connect with people that are close to you and that you can kind of team up with and go hit that are around you or something like that?
There are, yeah. So on the platform, you can create like pages. So that can be for a YouTube channel, magazine, shop, outlet, that sort of thing. But you can create public and private groups as well. So if you've got a few friends, it might not be a full club, but it might be, just the two of you on a private group. People can request access to it. Obviously, you can deny or just ignore, or you can add people to it if you want. But yeah, you can have your private spaces, or you can have, a club group. You can have a group for, say, Canada, or an entire group for the USA. Recently, I've managed to appoint a team of people in about 4 or 5 different countries for on the DN team now, which I'll talk about shortly. But we're going to create some groups for that as well. And are you guys familiar with the Mind Lab Olympics competition stuff, that sort of thing?
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
seen posts from previous years.
I
So,
actually haven't seen the Mind Lab Olympics.
we're planning on, I'm planning on doing something similar. It's a bit of a rip-off, but DN Olympics. Why not, right?
Yeah.
We'll give that a go. But it just, when the apps are out there, it will give me a lot more time to sit down with the team and plan, some fun stuff that we can do. There's all sorts of things that we can add on. is going to be quite exciting for the members of the platform, which is what it's all about, really.
Yeah, we got a question from Mark the Bird Hunter. He said, "Is there a way to copy a video to Detector Network like you can with Facebook, or do you need to upload it separately?"
So right now you can upload an MP4 or several other different file types, and that'll upload it directly, and it will be stored on our server. Usually, right now, I recommend just linking from YouTube for quite a few different reasons. But yeah, that's what it is for now. But we have some plans to integrate a few other things later. We do have live streaming on Detector Network right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's
That's really
not
cool.
amazing yet. It's quite a new addition. It only works on the web platform and on the desktop browser, but on the mobile app, it will work with live streaming because I want people to be able to live stream their finds. And there'll be a live comment feed over the live stream video, and they'll convert. So that when it's over, that video will be converted onto the news feeds, and the comments will come normal comments as opposed to just overlaid. So we've got all of that planned as well. That's going to be really cool. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, Deej, we'll get to the app here in a second. They asked, is there going to be a cost to the app?
No, the app's going to be free. Very soon. So DN has been free ever since day one, and it will always be free. But we're going to introduce some paid features, and one of them will be pro level memberships. We want to do a few things such as events, digs. We want to introduce new features, things like that. So, and of course, to keep running and improve the platform, we will need to make money. But we want to make it fair, make sure there's enough value there. So more value than what you're paying for. And you can choose whether you want any of those levels or not. So that's the idea behind that. We haven't released them yet. We'll probably release that either the end of this week or early next. And we'll just wait and see what feedback we get from that, really. But that will help us grow, because I don't really want to ruin the platform with ads if I can help it, because I think people just don't like ads. They're not
Okay.
cool. They're not
So,
good.
and that's what I was going to ask you about. Is it seems like now Facebook too. I mean, it's either a metal detecting post, which is okay with me, or an ad that you get, a sponsored ad. So that's what you're trying to stay away from by doing the premium account versus doing a marketing term kind of social media.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there is an advertising system available. We can do sort of direct ads, or people can put money in and advertise on the system. And when it gets bigger, you can target by country, age, and things like that. However, I'm not really interested in that. I would rather that it be supported by the community, and then we put that money back into developing it further, if that makes sense. However, I don't know how that's going to go yet. We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm sure, we'll do the right thing.
So I gotta ask, what's the difference, or what will be some of the basic differences between the free platform and then the premium, which you may pay a small cost?
So a few of the features, so I won't go through the exact levels yet because I haven't released them, but a few of the different things might be you can become a featured member, so you get featured across the platform, so you're more prominent and people will find you easier so they can follow you. You might be able to boost your page or your pages and posts, similar to Facebook. You could become a verified member. A lot of people have a verified badge already, but that's just something else. And we'll introduce specific features for verified members later on. There'll be other perks and benefits like event tickets, magazine subscriptions. There's all sorts of different stuff that we can do. So
Yeah, that's interesting. And actually, as you were saying that, a question came to my mind. And I don't know if this is a silly question for everyone in here, but would it be frowned upon to upload things you have found in the past? Like, is this a present and future kind of feed of people finding items, or can they feel welcome to display things that they may have found years ago that they want to show?
you can post whatever you want.
Okay.
As long as it's finds and it's related and things that people would find interesting on the platform, then that's not a problem. I did also create recently, because I noticed a few people asked, is there an off-topic section? and there wasn't, but now there is. There's an off-topic group. So, you know, if you want to put up some music stuff, or you know, if you want to vent about something, it's not a problem. Just keep it clean. But yeah, you know, the thing is, it's all within our control. Whereas with Facebook, nothing's in your control. Like for example, one of my customers who I built a website for has a bricks and mortar store, and he had a Facebook page that he relied on to get a lot of his business. And Facebook took his site, took his page down for no reason. I contacted them five, six, seven times, no answer, and that impacted his business severely. So with that in mind, I think, well, you know, if we kind of take the control of it a little bit and have our own social platform, maybe that's a good idea. So
Yeah, that's really neat.
Very
So
interesting.
let me ask you this. So basically, we've been doing this the entire time that I've known about it, and all of us when we're talking about the Detector Network, we compare it to Facebook, right? It's the Facebook for metal detecting. But I'm
yeah.
sure you kind of want to, separate yourself from that because are there things that make you better or things that you're trying to work on that will make it better? Maybe just overall using it, and then obviously for metal detecting. Like what differentiates you?
What do you mean by that exactly?
So like I I could do the exact same thing on Facebook, right, as Detector
Yeah,
Network.
yeah,
But
yeah.
no, I can't. There's other things that probably can provide us that
Oh, I see
face
what you
yeah,
mean.
that Facebook can't. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying? I and part of the reason I asked that is because I'm already seeing some of the content that you yourself are posting from your page. Like one of the most recent ones was a fines grid. That's what it was. A fines grid that you had posted that other people use
yeah,
Facebook or manager. But I thought that was really cool. You know what I mean? I don't
yeah.
think you can get such specific content when you're just trying to scroll through masses.
No, yeah, and well, like I said, it is purely for detectorists. That's the objective. So, you know, Facebook is always going to try and appeal to the masses because that is Facebook's objective. They want to gather as much data on you as possible so they can target you with ads. Therefore, you'll buy something that you're most likely to buy. Whereas that's not what Detector Network's about. It's about the hobby itself. And if we can, the more resources and value that we add, the bigger we'll get. You know, so it's kind of a win-win, really.
Yeah.
So, for example, the fines grids look really cool. They're helpful, but of course, they've got the DM brand on as well, because then that's brand awareness for us. But yeah, I love being completely open and honest about it all, and being able to as well. Unlike some of these other businesses, so I hate to say.
Well, they say
But yeah,
transparency is key, but that's not always necessarily the case.
no. Save areas, save. Do specifically for this hobby. So that's the differentiator really, and it's quite a generalization, but there's lots of stuff that we can do.
Yeah, it's the possibilities are really endless for this because a lot of things are coming to my mind. Like, I mean, even having like little separate threads or clubs for specific types of hunters. You know, we have relic hunters and coin shooters in the metal detecting world, and even in those categories, you have subcategories for people who like to find old coppers, or maybe people go after only silver coins. So the possibilities are endless, really.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that actually, because when we first built Detector Network, it was purely just for metal detecting. But then when I started doing the typical research you do for digital marketing purposes, there are so many different sort of little areas that I noticed. So you've got coin collectors, archaeology based stuff. You've got underwater treasure hunting as well. There are just so many different terms and different types that we can focus on, and each one of those areas we can introduce certain features specifically for. So it's gonna be interesting, I think.
That's cool.
But I
I
think, obviously that there is a lot of possibilities, and the cool thing is that you're accessible as someone. Not You're not a Mark Zuckerberg who we'll never get to talk to any day,
No.
but you're here joining our live stream and stuff, and taking in feedback. And I was listening to Joel's stream the other day, and and people were throwing out ideas, and that's the beauty of it. It's for detectors at the purest form, like you were saying, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, and I love that as well. And they always say do your market research and business 101, listen to your customer, all of that stuff. So, it's quite nice really to be able to do that. Recently as well, what's really helpful is now I don't feel so alone, or me and my brother don't anyway. I've appointed people in the US, Canada, South Africa, Netherlands, and Australia, and in the DN team. And they're all coming up with ideas, and there's all different things we could do in each one of those countries, which is pretty cool. And the US team is, of course, your own Andy and Joel. Just plug them there. But they're going to be responsible for DN in the US, which would be cool.
love it.
But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it, and sort of having calls and spitballing ideas and being able to implement stuff and see if it works and get some feedback on it. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, so, and transparency is key. Part of the reason I see as a plus to the Detector Network too is we obviously have a YouTube page and we have social media pages that we want to share our finds and share our experiences with, um, which is going to make this a little bit better too to kind of push that content because a lot of people are on YouTube now, and it's hard to get in front of people just another way. But besides the premium that you can purchase and kind of boost your posts, are there other ways that people utilize again to have more people see it? You know,
there will
organically.
be. Yeah, I've used, I've looked into and will hopefully be able to integrate TubeBuddy
Besides the
into
premium that you can
DN.
purchase. Oh,
The
that's cool.
future
That's
of the
really cool.
web is video, I think. Is going to be video. And so, YouTube are the biggest one. They've got a great system. It is hard to get subscribers. It's a big sea of channels, and you want to get your content seen. What I like about DN is that we kind of do a lot of the marketing work for you because we want to grow. And the way we do that is by getting you guys on board and you guys creating great content. So, together with our marketing experience and you guys' content and creativity, we could probably do something quite well there. We could build your exposure based off of the Detector Network brand, is the point. So I'm looking for the win-win, really, and you
That's
can't
so
go
cool.
far wrong
Yeah.
with that.
Awesome. Do you use a similar algorithm as far as like what Facebook uses? Like, I know this is your background. Did you build this from the basement up, or did you have a starting point, or how did that?
So over the years, I've built up various resources, as you can
Yeah.
imagine, as every programmer does. And then you use a very core structure, and then you build on it. But in terms of algorithms, there isn't really anything in place that says this content should appear above another. It's literally real time. It's all as it is, one after the other. But if it grows into, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of database entries, then of course we're going to need to introduce an algorithm. But for now, there's really no need for that. So
Oh, cool.
I'll approach that problem. That'll be a nice problem to that'll be a nice problem to have, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah.
So, speaking of Mark Zuckerberg, I was actually talking to Mike. He and the Facebook journey story got a movie made out,
I
right?
love that movie, yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched it many times.
So if you grow like that, hopefully there's not as much drama as they had. But when the movie comes out about DN, who's gonna play Scott as the main character?
That's a good question. That's a very unique question. I have no idea.
You know what's funny too is
Basically.
I brought that up to Mike. I was like, what are some like brown haired actors? I don't know. I was like, I don't
No,
know either.
yeah.
That's a good question.
I'm glad that I can't answer that question.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Oh,
No, I
man.
mean, well, I don't really want a movie made out of
You
me,
know what's
but yeah,
funny
we'll
too
see.
is do you see like some of those platforms and those
You
creators?
almost said Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was on the tip of my tongue right there.
He's getting older now, though, so I
He
don't
is
know.
getting older, yeah. So
I had
that's
to play Jon Snow in
oh
Game of
yeah.
Thrones.
Oh
There
yeah,
you go.
yeah, that guy.
There you go.
If he cuts his hair, he's a pretty
Yeah.
handsome dude, Scott.
Maybe. Never know. Maybe I could play it myself. You never know.
Yeah, see? There we
You can pull a
go.
Howard
I'm,
Stern.
I'm up for a challenge. It's not a problem. So,
Well, that's
um,
cool.
I had to play Jon.
Digging for Life said I'd be interested to know a little bit more about Detector Network. I'm always interested in supporting a solid platform that revolves around integrity and respect about the hobby. So,
yeah, and well, that's what it's all about. I mean, I guess I could just go through what the core features are and what the goal is.
yeah, why not? Yeah, why not?
You know, so Detector Network is the new social platform for metal detecting worldwide. Obviously, it's not truly worldwide yet because we need to translate it, but it will be. And the goal is to be the biggest platform. The way we do that is by add as much value to the community as possible, and therefore the community will adopt it, and then we'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's it's as simple as that, really. So everything that we do is towards that goal. You can create pages, you can create groups, you can have live chat, you can have group live chat. You've got your own timeline, and you can follow other people to see their updates on your newsfeed. I constantly go on there and share people's content. So if you've got a YouTube channel, I'm more than happy to promote you as well. There's all sorts of different things you can do on there, and we will be introducing a lot more content as well. We've recently started a merch store, and what was quite nice was to get Detector Network sort of tangible in the real world. Sort of, it's real now. It's not just digital. So we would like to do some events soon as well under the DN brand. So we'll look into that as well.
That's cool.
But in a nutshell, that's what DN is. So
Where did you guys launch the merch at? On the site itself?
it's on Teespring at the moment, and the reason
Okay.
for that is because they handle all the logistics.
Yeah.
However, I'm not 100% happy with the quality of their stuff. So I do want to bring a lot of that in house, not all of it, but some of it. So I'll be doing that soon. We'll probably set up an e-commerce platform. Could be based on, I don't know, WordPress and Magento or something. But the beautiful thing is, I don't have to pay anyone to do that because I can do it myself. So I'll build an e-commerce store, maybe multi-vendor, maybe other people who've got merch could sell on the DM store. That's another idea.
Well,
There's
people are
all
already
sorts of
taking
stuff that we could do.
yeah.
So.
And people are already taking care or taking advantage of the marketplace too that you have in there too. I see t-shirts and I already
Yeah.
a couple of shirts and that's
See, there is a wallet feature as well that I haven't switched on yet. And I'm not really too sure because at the moment we don't handle transactions. So if someone's put something in the market, you have to deal with that yourself. Which is, that's fine from a terms perspective. But later on, we could introduce it where you upload money into your wallet, and then you could transfer it to another member, in exchange for a product or a service. That's something that I'm thinking about at the moment. But there's quite a lot of moving parts to that and legal entity stuff as well. So I want to make
Kinda
sure it's
cool.
done right. So
well, I was about to say, I've been reading this chat. I was gonna say,
I haven't read the chat yet.
I said first of all, Joe, make a movement so people know you're still alive. So I've been seeing that a lot in chat. He is alive, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how to say his first name, but I had to Google it because
I'll keep rocking back and
I'm
forth.
so bad with names. Official Gold Digger says Joaquin Phoenix. Is that how you say his name?
Joaquin.
Joaquin.
Joaquin Phoenix. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
That's what I said today, Trey. That's what I said today.
Oh, that's who you were talking about? Ladies and gentlemen. That's funny. So yeah, that's two people. Hi, Charlie Harley. Oh, here is this. So is this the actual? Yeah, this is just Detector Network that Andy's bringing up now on the back screen. So it looks great. I mean, I'm kind of scrolling through it now just so I can see all this stuff. But I love it. Hey, Charlie Harley, Brooklyn Treasure Hunter, Joel, Digging Deep Beeps. One thing that I saw on there, Scott, is Adrian Gaylor said in the UK people are concerned about sharing lines due to the risk of theft or just risk in general. He said VPN is safer to post. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I know we're
Essentially, yeah, because if you know, it's everyone's a detectorist, but anyone on Facebook could be watching. You don't know,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
and yeah, you Facebook do expose a lot of personal details, whereas on DN, I purposely not asked you for things like, your address, all of this different stuff, so none of that can be exposed. So DN is by its nature safer for that sort of thing.
I just saw Andy was scrolling through there and someone found a gold sovereign, British gold coin. That
There's
was
quite a
really
lot of
cool.
nice British stuff on there, yeah.
I love it.
That's
I
sweet.
can't wait to see more stuff about that.
I'll just give Adrian a quick plug as well because he's from Greenlight Publishing and Treasure Hunting magazine in the UK,
Oh,
and he
nice.
was one of the very first people to sign up on the platform. I managed to get some interest from on Instagram when I was doing some outreach, and he's been really, really helpful so far. So catch him on the platform, follow him if you're not already, and he'll help you out with. He's also part of Team Rootus as well.
Very cool.
So he's a field tester. So yeah, we've got some cool stuff going on. Also, if you click the moon icon, I see up there, for people who
Yeah,
don't
what is
know,
that?
the
Dark
next the
mode.
messages thing, you've got dark mode. Cool.
Okay, in dark mode, man.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's
dark mode
such
is
a
nice on the
small
eyes.
thing, but it makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Treasure Hunter asked Scott, "Will DN be creating a group video chat as Facebook and Instagram have?"
That would be good. Yeah, it's something that,
Yeah.
well, we need to get the core apps out of the way first and quite a few other things, but that is on the roadmap. Yeah.
One of the apps coming out.
So we've got the core Android app has been delayed because originally I was going to integrate the Messenger with the core, but now I've had to split the two, which is fine. But the core, I should be able to submit that back to Play Store this weekend. So they were saying because of COVID, it takes up to 7 days to review an app and all of that stuff. But it should be next
One of
week
the apps
for
coming
that.
out.
And it'll be a few weeks after that for the iOS version as well. So now, not long, and a lot of people are asking me about that. So, which I can understand because I hope it's going to be a lot easier to use. So
Yeah, absolutely. And
I
I can
sent
tell
some
you,
screen. I sent some exclusive screenshots there to Andy earlier of the app, the
There we
timeline
go.
that you can see there.
So Scott, um, are you going to implement like DN Live, like like Facebook and YouTube have down the road?
Yeah.
Will that be part of like the premium package?
No, you can just use that anyway.
Anyway,
It's not a problem. Yeah. So we're using something called Agora. Are you familiar with Agora live streaming? But at the moment it's sort of one to many, but we need many to many, and I need to integrate stream keys functionality as well. So that's something that Andy and I are discussing and looking to implement at DN. When we do that, that'll be great because then we can get a lot of shows exclusively on DN, and that'll be really good. So, but that's something we're working on at the moment. But that won't be a premium feature.
okay.
So someone said recently as well that I think what is it on YouTube? You need 1,000 watch hours, is it, and
it's
something else
4,000 watch hours and 1,000.
in order to go live. Yeah.
That's ingrained in my. Not in order to go live. That's to be monetized. In order to go
Right.
live, you
Thousand subs.
yeah, it's 1,000 subs.
Yeah. Well, you don't need any of that on DM, so you know that should be quite a good thing as well for a
That's
lot of
really
new
cool.
channels.
Yeah, it gives us all an opportunity, and it's always fun to just go live and chat with other people while you're maybe out in the field hunting or whatever it may be. See a lot of those guys go when they're doing that and when they're
Yeah.
digging up something cool, and you're right there experiencing them. So
Yeah, that'll be really important. And unfortunately, that doesn't work yet on the web platform if you're on your mobile. But on the
yeah,
app version, that will work. And I hope that will be really popular as well.
that's really. I was trying to see if we had any more. Digologist again said, "Where's the home?"
That'll be really important.
So, what country? I think we've kind of gone over that, but if you want to say it again, Scott, just where
Sorry,
you're
could you
out
repeat
of.
the? Oh, where I'm from?
Yeah.
Southampton.
in the UK, south of the UK, very south, in Hampshire.
Did have to Google it. I took a look exactly where it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up where you guys are from too.
New
yeah.
Jersey, which there's also a New Jersey closer to you, but we are in United States.
No, we're in New Jersey. He has Jersey,
Yeah,
just
that's
Jersey.
true.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Jersey.
true. Yeah, he has
Jersey and Guernsey,
Jersey.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
OG
I think it's an
Jersey.
island, right? Isn't Jersey an island?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But I do work with another IT guy who comes from New Jersey, actually. And he
Oh, okay, yeah.
comes from Miami and New York, so I'm reasonably familiar.
No, we're
But
in
I
New
haven't been
Jersey.
over
He
yet. I'd
has
quite like to
Jersey.
visit. So
That's true. Oh, that's
time will
Places
tell.
to-
We'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's an island.
Hey, if you
right?
pick
Isn't
up the
Jersey an
hobby,
island?
come with us when you come out here. So that will be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to. Yeah,
You know,
that'd be
Rest
good.
assured, you'll find older stuff where you live now. Though.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
even
I'll try and get you guys over here, but yeah.
Now I did visit in the spring of last year. Detective. We had spring detective. We were
Rest
Yeah,
assured, you'll
yeah.
find
there
older
on
stuff where you.
and where they found the hoard of silver and gold coins. I don't know if you heard of that, but
I did, yeah.
I was so close to that, which also kind of just
That's it. That's just mind-boggling.
Oh, no.
I'll never get over
so
that.
close. But do you see yourself becoming a part of bigger hunts and gigs like that? Whether it's partnering up with a detectable or doing your own. I think I'd heard you say that maybe in the
Potentially
future.
both. Yeah, potentially both. But I've already had conversations with Mark at Detectable, and apparently they'd be more than happy to have DN at Detectable, which would be great. I'd love to go. It'll be our first big event that we go to. Of course, I've already planned it all out. So, if you do go to the next one, hopefully it will be on next year, but we'll see due to the pandemic thing. But yeah, come and see us. You won't miss us because we'll be in our bright yellow tops. So yeah.
And that's
Um,
how is the pandemic looking where in the UK right now?
Well, it was rules were and restrictions were being relaxed, but things are spiking here and there again at the moment. So really, it's complete uncertainty, like anywhere else, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I work with another guy in Barcelona, and there's been another spike in Catalonia as well. And so they've got another lockdown now as well, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't know yet really. But what another point on that, it's going to be quite interesting because people have been stuck indoors. I'm hoping that when people are allowed out more, might see more interesting posts on DN, even more. Because there has been a lot of interesting stuff on there already, but I wonder what it's going to be like when everyone is allowed out on the larger group digs. So,
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, that's super cool.
One of the things. So I was explaining it to a buddy who does not metal detecting, picking him up this evening, explaining that what the deal was with Detector Network. And all that. And the way I described it was that you've got a lot of the best concepts from a lot of the social media platforms. And quite honestly, as other social media forms have evolved, I think they've lost touch with their original purpose and all that. So it's cool to see, say, with the hashtags that are going on and the explore like Instagram almost, and some of the features that are almost reminiscent of what was, in my opinion, the best era of Facebook before it got convoluted and whatnot. So my question here is the forgotten social media. When do we get to add songs to our profiles like back in the MySpace?
well, I made a decision recently to allow people to change their profile background, and to customize it a bit more. But yeah, in terms of having a MySpace, I'm not too sure about that.
I did like that the customizable background that was like in the MySpace. So I got the Copperhead logo repeating in the back, and I thought that was awesome. That really allows you to take your profile.
Yeah. At least you don't have to add that friend Tom, I guess.
Right.
You are the
Look at
Tom,
Scott.
Scott.
Yeah,
you
You should
are.
recreate your profile picture to be the Tom with the white t-shirt.
Yeah, I remember MySpace. Yeah. No, I look forward to adding lots of different stuff. that stuff to it. And but the thing is, I can put it down to a vote, so I can put a poll out and ask the question. What do you think about this? And based on the voting numbers, we'll choose whether to build something in or not. So I think that's quite important. So.
Yeah, I love it. Now, with some of the capabilities of DN, got like articles there as well. Are
Yeah.
you uploading those, or are users uploading those? How do the articles
No,
work?
so
I haven't done that one.
members can upload those. So they write an article. I'll have to approve them because they are quite long. And just we have a look, make sure it's quality content. And then we'll approve it. Everything's been fine so far. But the good thing about that is obviously one that's great for organic SEO, so it helps grow DN. But also we've got quite a few major magazines on there, and they will read the articles, and there's a chance that your article could get published in the magazines as well.
Wow, that's
That's a
cool.
really cool
But
thing.
not many people really realize that yet. So,
Well,
um,
I mean, if you look in here and you're kind of scrolling through the actual articles themselves, but there's 8 in there, so there's not a lot of competition right now since you're so fresh and so new.
hmm,
Um, to put yourself out there.
yeah, that's right.
And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's a cool part about this whole thing is there's never a lot of opportunity to jump on gain popularity like it's gonna. One thing you'll know about the probably already figured it out. The detectorist group, they stay pretty tight with each other. So if one person's doing it and they say and they recommend it, a lot of people are jumping on board with that because we trust each other's words. So I see a lot of people that are interested in it and have already jumped on it, which is cool.
Hmm.
So it just gives you an opportunity to really grow your network.
Yeah, well, we had to achieve community adoption if we were going to get anywhere. And I don't know, I spend a lot too much time on YouTube, I guess. But I've been watching. It's unrelated to detecting, but have you seen all of these videos where like buy my course and buy this thing, and they've got really fancy landing pages, and I'm going to teach you how to do this and do that,
Yeah.
and they put in a lot of money and time into the marketing of this amazing product and all this value, and then they get people to buy, but the product is no good in the end.
Right.
They just get your money and that's it. So you can either focus on the marketing and then the product, or the product then the marketing. With DN, it's all about the product first. Make that good, and then if people can come to it and they use it and they like it, then it will sell itself. So that's the idea, anyway.
Now
Yeah, I have a question actually. So when people are signing up for DN, um, this is probably another silly question, but do people generally use their real name or do they come up with like their own like persona screen name for their profile?
Usually it's a username, I've
Okay,
noticed,
user.
but
I
there
have a
is
question
there is a
actually.
mix.
Okay.
And if you sign in using Facebook sign in, then of course that takes your real details as well. But it'll only take your real name and your Facebook email. There aren't any other details. Also, I'm going to release Google sign in as well, single sign on. So that'll make it easier to integrate with things like YouTube as well.
Yeah, if you want to check me out, I'm Trey Crawford, but I'm at Copperhead today. So, yeah,
I think
follow
I'm
me,
Copperhead's
subscribe
money.
to me. Yeah. So
Okay, so
we're
I
at
My
guess I know what
ratio's
my
a
name
little
will
off
be.
right now. I'm definitely following way more than I have followers, but I think that will change soon.
you got to
We'll
get
see.
that ratio back
Yeah.
to even at least. I know my profile picture of me that I had on my desktop, me in a sombrero drinking a Corona. So
Okay,
I
so
need to get
I
that
guess
switched
I
up
know
pretty
what my
quick
name
and
will be.
make it
I
more
saw I
legible.
saw that image. Yeah,
There's good memories behind that, though.
Yeah, that was a fun weekend. That's for sure. So, but yeah, I mean, I love it. Uh, I'm just going through all of this. You got the explore page, popular events. Just gives you an opportunity to really talk
I
about
saw that
everything
image. Yeah,
metal
Good
detecting.
memories behind that.
You know, it's great. I go through some of those old like the forums, like the old school forums that a
Yeah.
lot of it, like the Treasure Network and that sort of stuff, and it's tough because that's not what kind of social media I'm used to. I'm
Hmm.
used to going through a page like this, scrolling through posts, not diving deep into. I mean, Reddit's still very very this is kind of what I grew up with and what I.
Yeah. With so we have got a forum
Yeah, I
on
see that.
the app.
Yeah.
However, it's not used very often because you have timelines and news feeds, and that's what people are used to now. And to be honest, in my opinion, that is superior. But we've got the forum there anyway. We could keep it there. We might remove it. I'm not sure yet. But it's funny you should mention Reddit because I want to introduce a few more features to DM. Where, for example, we could introduce a fun thing where people post their finds and you can rate it up or down. So upvote or downvote, and then each week
Huh.
the best find. You might win something or get some sort of perk or just something like that. Something
That's super
fun.
cool.
That's a great
Um,
idea.
just that sort of stuff. I can't get there yet because I'm sort of bogged down with dev on the app stuff. But when that is out of the way, we can do a lot of fun stuff with it. So
So
Well, I
this is
can't
going to
wait
be
for that.
more of a feed-based app. I don't know about all you guys, but from my experience, feed-based apps, sometimes I'll be, and I think this has happened to, scrolling through a feed, you see something and maybe get sidetracked and go to something else, or you lose it and then you can't find it again. Has that
yeah.
happened to anyone? That bugs me. And sometimes I'll be scrolling, trying to find that. So would there be any like type of filter or search on the feed or something?
Yeah, so I've recently turned them off for a couple of different technical reasons, but I'll turn them back on. But you can filter by content type, so it's video, image, audio, that sort of thing. Obviously, you can filter content by hashtags as well if people use them. There's mentions as well, but there will be a few other things that we can do to alleviate that. We won't ever be able to completely resolve that problem with the feed-based system, unfortunately. But
Especially as it grows.
yeah,
Tougher and tougher.
but
Yeah, right.
if you've got any ideas going forward, we're more than open and happy to consider everything. So
So let me ask you this then, and I've scrolled through the feed so many times since I signed up, and I didn't actually think about it until now. Is it currently set up in a chronological format?
yes,
And
Okay.
so do you plan on keeping it like that? I know that was a big thing with Instagram that was infuriating for me is when they went away from, and not to say that it wouldn't work, and now I'm used to it, but when they went away from chronological, that was really where it threw me for a loop. And then I would like a post, and I don't think in the detecting community and the treasure hunting community it's as much of a faux pas, if you will, but like liking someone's post that was like 5 days old, and you're like, oh man, do I look like a creep now, or whatever it is. So
Oh,
and
yeah,
that was the
liking
same.
something from like 5 years ago. Yeah.
Well, I will say liking a copper picture is a little different than a bikini picture from 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
So.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, no, it is all chronological and it will stay that way for the most part. However, when you consider some of the paid features like boosting
Right, like
posts and
boosted.
pages, those posts will get added into people's news feeds in random places. So of course that will disrupt the true chronological order.
Right.
But for the most part, it will be chronological. So,
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
cool. Now, and I don't know if you're there yet with it, but when you are boosting a post down the line, right? Is there going to be anything that makes it drastically look less organic than a normal post that'd be on there, or how's that going to, like on AdWords and stuff, you can tell which ones are the ads, and then on Facebook or Instagram says sponsored or something like that.
Yeah.
What's that going to look like?
You might just have a little different icon, like a yellow icon, a little flag icon.
It'll flow pretty organically.
Yeah, it's not going to disrupt your
Nice.
experience,
I like that.
which is really important, I think, because it's all about that. We don't want to ruin it with ads. We don't want to ruin it with crazy, sponsored posts either. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I know I'm excited to kind of grow my. Is there any other things that are coming out in the future that we should be excited for?
Well, I think I've been through the majority with the apps, especially. I'm looking into a couple of things like games, things metal detecting game related stuff, like the JavaScript apps that we could integrate into the platform. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Miniclip and that sort of thing. I might do something like that. But yeah, in short, without giving you too many details, yes, there
Give
will
us
be a
the
lot more
juice,
stuff.
Scott. What are you doing?
No,
That's the inside scoop.
I've given you enough
Closely
on
guarded
that.
secrets.
Well,
Well, you know,
I'd love to be able to stagnate all of the features. Well, and the thing is, what I like about this is some features will be country specific. So, because of different laws, or you might have certain insurance with one and not with another. So there will be different things we can do on a per country basis. So, but if you guys have got any ideas, we've got a content creators group now, which one of the members created earlier from the Metal Detecting Show podcast, where, put your ideas in there. It's a public group, and we'll consider them all. So,
Awesome.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. Looking through these groups now to try to find.
Yeah, I know,
yeah,
right?
there
I'm
are
like,
quite a
let me
lot
just
of them
find them
now.
real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are growing. So, but that's a good thing, right? So,
So now, Scott, you said obviously, and I think this is the same across most of the platforms out there right now, that video is the future. And the key to all this, is there anything, obviously besides from getting more users and stuff like that, what do you want to see, the current users doing more on the platform? Where would you like to see activity or any of that boosted within the site itself?
Just more videos, really.
Okay.
And just being more creative in general, with stuff. Like when someone comes out with like a new interesting intro, or they do something a bit different in their video, and it's quite obvious because you've been watching them for a while, and then they change it up and say, "Oh wow, that's pretty cool." Different stuff like that. But there is one other thing that I've considered for later on down the line, but I'm not sure yet. It depends on how big, if DN will get big. But I thought, is there any value in creating, say, an Instagram clone specifically for Detector, and then have it integrate with the DN? We could do some things like that. Because I thought, well, do you get any benefit? So from YouTube, with your content, you get paid for certain things, don't you, if you have so many views and all that stuff. With Instagram, people just want to share their stuff generally, I guess. So I thought, well, there's an opportunity there if the end did get big enough for me to do that. Because Instagram, I had a question, there was a feature request. They said, if we upload images to DN, can they also upload to Instagram? And Instagram recently limited their API because they want to promote real-time stuff like content instead. But if we had our own like clone of Instagram, we wouldn't have that limitation, and it was still, So, but I'm not sure yet, because the benefit of Instagram is you've got millions and millions of users, and therefore you've got the potential, you've got more exposure. So I need to think about that. And I did think about a similar thing with YouTube as well. Like, do we do it like a detector tube or something? But it's just an idea for now, in its infancy. But I like to think big. So I guess we'll see.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think you're off to a phenomenal start so far. So obviously, as Detector Network grows, there's just going to be so much opportunity. Seems like you're already thinking not even 10, but 15, 20 steps ahead of the game. I think that's what it's going to take, and it'll keep everything relevant, and it'll keep the community even more engaged across the board.
100%. Yeah, and I'm really glad that you guys are on board, and I'm glad you're enjoying it as well. So
Oh,
thank
it's
you very
awesome.
much.
It really is. I will say, I used the Explore page the other day. I was telling Trey today, and I just went through every single person. I was like, all right, if I recognize the name from the stream, or if I see their channel, boom, get in the follow again. And I got through, I think, everyone at that point. So that was about 5 days
Oh
ago.
my God.
I mean, I was
That's quite a
just
lot.
scrolling and going through, but it was awesome just to see that many people out there, that many recognizable names. And I think one of the cool things about this platform too is that there's so many people that I see in the chat that now, as we've been doing this more and more, I am knowing people's names behind the channel itself or the tech itself. But I
Yeah.
think it's going to be another layer to peel back to be able to say, okay, it's not just the Copperheads, it's Mike, Trey, that kind of stuff. And
Someone said that recently, yeah, because they said YouTube is great, and you do connect with the live streams and all of that, but you don't have live chat feature. So if you go on DN, you can follow the person and chat with them if you want to,
exactly.
which is pretty cool. So yeah.
Andy's going through and he was liking all this
Someone
stuff.
said
So
recently,
he
yeah,
enjoys that.
YouTube is
I'm
great,
loving it.
you do connect with the live
Well,
Yeah.
that was the other cool thing, the multiple reactions. I thought that was great to have right
go
off
on
the bat.
DN,
Well, we're going to be introducing some Detectorist specific chat stickers soon.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that.
We're going to be doing that.
Really cool.
We're going to introduce voice clips into the live chat as well. So we're going to do that. There's all sorts of stuff that we're going to do, and I'm pretty sure you're going to love it. So.
Absolutely.
Sure will.
Super cool.
Well, we hit our hour mark. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us and reading the chat. And I don't know if there are some funny things in there. And there was
I
also
haven't
some
seen it
good,
yet.
there's also some good questions. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Go to detectornetwork.com. Sign up if you haven't already. Get your y'all love saving history. All love metal detector. Why not sign? Really easy to do, and then show Scott some love on there. So, all right.
Thanks very much, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott, for being
Nice
on.
talking to you,
Yeah.
Scott.
Nice to meet you
interesting.
guys.
I love it. So.